Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this reading today. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I hope that you, again, still enjoy this reading. So, I felt like doing a top-down view today where I show you the cards. I really felt like these needed to be seen. These cards needed to be seen. So that's what we're doing today. And we're going to see what Spirit has in store for you guys. Now, I've already shuffled ahead of time, and that's just because I'm holding my phone and I can't really shuffle the cards. But I really do find that this story that Spirit has for you guys, this message that Spirit has for you guys, is really important to hear, because I do feel like this is a collective who is really leading into a new chapter in their life. I know I've talked about that so much on my channel, but this feels so big. This feels so big, and it's really going to fill you up, light you up emotionally. Like, I feel like emotions are really going to pour in here, where there's going to be tears. And I really do see here with this lineup of cards that it's going to be tears of joy. Maybe even some tears of sorrow too, if you're still dealing with old energy that you are releasing. But I do see tears of joy coming in here as well. So with the Ace of Cups here, I do see this new beginning, a new chapter in your life, especially emotionally. Being really, really tuned in with your internal self. I'm hearing with who you really are. You also may be reflecting on yourself and what you really want in life. Again, who you really are as well, not who people want you to be or tell you to be or who they think you are. You know who you are, and you are going forward, you are moving forward knowing and learning who you are without caring what anybody else thinks or says. So with the Eight of Wands here, I do see movement forward. And this is fast action forward. And this also could be tapping into that fiery energy, because we are in the year of the fire horse. And so that energy could be coming through. We don't have that card that usually resembles the fire horse, at least for me in my readings. We don't have that out on the board, but I do feel like because wands represent fire, that is part of this energy here. The High Priestess is talking about your intuition, your deep intuition, your inner knowing. And so I really do feel like this is encouragement from Spirit to use your inner guidance as your compass. And as you do this, as you navigate this part of self, this part of your life, this very important part of who you are stepping into this Queen of Wands energy. Now, I have heard recently that astrologically, now I'm not an astrologer, so I don't have all of this info, but this week in particular is a very important week where there is a lot of feminine energy coming through, just based on like where certain planets are and certain moons. I believe when this video is coming out, Jupiter and Venus are in conjunction or something like that, and there's a lot of like good luck energy coming through with this. But when I'm talking about feminine energy, I heard somebody talking about Lilith, Hecate, Aries or Eris, something like that, and some other like feminine energies really coming through. And this is really going to bring in some deep reflection. And sometimes I really do feel, I think these energies really tap into like the darker self, and when I say that, I mean it's more like the parts that are hidden, that you may hide from others, but may also be hidden from you because you've been conditioned to not view yourself in certain ways. And so you may find this week you questioning more about yourself, maybe even your identity, just a lot of reflection on the self, and really tapping into those energies where you're like, actually, I want to explore that part of who I am, that part that may be a little uncomfortable and a little scary, but if I explore that, and you don't need to tell anybody that you're doing this, okay? This is for you. But if you explore that, you may feel more like yourself. You may feel more of who you really are. And maybe that's actually helping to bring in this flood of emotions where you're crying in sorrow and hurt because you weren't able to express this part of yourself. And so there's grief around that. But now that you're tapping into this part of yourself, now joy and relief is actually allowed to come through. Okay, so like I said, you don't need to tell anybody about this moment, not until you're ready, not if, you know, even if you're not ready, you don't need to tell anybody. It's okay. But I feel like this is movement towards your inner self, discovering your inner self, and really stepping into your true power. And with it being the Queen of Wands that you're stepping into, maybe a majority of you here actually want to show this side of yourself once you're comfortable with it. You're actually, sit there, stand there confidently, in love with yourself, and not caring what anybody else thinks or says. You're like, this is who I am, and I'm happy about it. And if anybody doesn't like that, then they have a lot of work that they need to do on their own self and discover why you being your true self actually hurts them. That's usually something that they need to figure out themselves. They need to do a lot of reflection on themselves. So let's go ahead into your oracle cards. So we have this card here, which is the Man card. Now this can just represent you, regardless of gender. I find it interesting though that you got the Man card showing your masculine energy, yet we're talking about feminine energy. So this actually may be bringing you more into a balance with yourself. So you're tapping into this feminine energy to help balance out the masculine energy that you may have been stuck in. Maybe you've been stuck in very action-oriented energy, very aggressive energy. Not so much the energy when it comes to the self. Okay, so that is something that needs to be worked on, and you are stepping into that balance. The Mice card here is symbolizing the stress and anxiety. I feel like this is past energy that you have been in, that you may feel like you are currently in. Maybe feeling restless, a lot of worry around something, fatigue, tired over what's been going on. You may have experienced a loss of something. I'm hearing also, unfortunately, maybe a loss of someone. There could also be illness here in somebody's life, whether that's your illness or somebody else's that you know and love. But I do see still, you know, we've got this moving forward energy, discovering yourself energy, flood of emotions energy, because you also got the waterfall card. And look how much this card relates to the Ace of Cups. And so it's not just a flood of emotions coming in. I also feel like there's this flood of abundance. And abundance can mean anything. Okay? This could literally be abundance of yourself as you're going through this discovery. And you are realizing, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, this is where I want to be. It's just all coming in. And then we also have release here, with a release of emotions, release of the past. You are walking into fulfillment. Okay? And we also have the Lily card. Now, to me, in this deck, lilies also symbolize a new start, a new beginning. That's just what it means to me, okay? It may not mean that way to other readers, but I do still see here a achievement in this energy. I see a development in this energy. We also have sexuality coming out here, so there could be somebody also figuring that out in their life. I do see mature is popping out to me as well. You may feel a sense of maturity as you're discovering yourself. And I don't mean to say that you're not mature right now. I just kind of feel like it's that feeling of like when you finally figure out who you are and it all clicks into place, you're like, ah, yes. Now I understand who I am. And you start feeling more mature. I hope that makes sense. Like, it's just a feeling that's coming through. But that is what Spirit has to say for you guys. I really don't feel like they have anything else to add on to that. But let's go. Sorry, that's my cat. But I do want to read you guys affirmations that Spirit wants to share with you. So you have, when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. Feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. The universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. And I really do feel like this is realignment with love for yourself. And lastly, when I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. Okay. So that is all that I have for you guys today. That is all that Spirit has for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming by and listening to this reading. I hope it helped you. I hope it resonated with you. And there are links in the description that are to my other platforms. So if you'd like to follow me there, it's greatly appreciated. I also have links to where you could book a reading with me, where it is a private reading just for you that I record and send to you via a private link, and you can download that video and keep for however long you wish. So that website is down below. But I am sending you guys so much love, healing, and blessings your way. I am wishing you all the best, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!